in.
Welcome to Book Witches with a B. I'm Colleen.
I'm Orja, and we are going to be talking about chapters 19 through 21 of Quicksilver by Callie Hart today.
They were long. They were so long.
They were, except 21 was very short.
So short. Yeah, I was like, oh, each chapter's like an hour, and I'm like, okay, like, takes me a little longer. And then we get to 21, and I was like, oh,
Yeah,
it's
9
like a blink of
minutes.
an eye. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, wait, it's so much shorter. Okay, so I'm doing the recap today. So
Yep,
buckle up,
which means
because
we've got my corner, so we've got, ooh.
thing. Okay, so chapter 19. Um, Contextually, from what happened, if you don't remember, uh, the zombie people came in and tried to kill her, and one of them scratched her. They did not bite her, as far as we know. And Kingfisher panicked, absolutely panicked, starts running with her, and she like passes out. Beginning of chapter 19. She starts having like nightmares about her like trying to get away from these feeders, and they're just like always keeping up with her. She can't escape. And then she wakes up in a bedroom that she has never seen before. Um, Everything is black. Like the sheets are black, the bedding is black, the curtains are black, all black. Um, and the like paintings and stuff on the wall are like scratched. It's like looks like maybe organized disarray. We don't really know. She's like, this is not a bedroom. Um, I'm used to being in. And then she goes, oh, I'm in Kingfisher's room. Like she like smells him. She like figures it out. Um, Turns out he's also in the room. He's just sitting in the corner, hanging out. Um, he's yeah, seems somewhat relaxed, but like tense. Like he's been sitting up with her basically to make sure she's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so she is basically like, "Hey, I thought you said I was safe in this castle. You brought me to this war front. You forced me to come here. You said I was safe." And he's like, "Oh, it won't happen again. Don't worry." And she was like, "It happened the first time." He goes, "Well, Rin wanted to bring guards, and I told him no because I didn't think they were that desperate. That you don't usually come this far." And she's like, "What?" Like she just has no concept of what's happening. Um, he's like, "I didn't realize they would be so hungry in specific." And then he calls her a soft human, and he's like this raging monster. So he's like, "I'm this raging monster. I can take care of myself, but humans are just soft and fragile and blah blah blah." His ranting. You can tell he like wants to be close. He keeps like coming towards her and then pulling himself away, and she's conflicted about whether she also wants him to be close or farther away. And then she's like, "Hey, Kingfisher," and he's like, "Yeah." She's like, "What's with the pictures on the walls being torn to shreds? Like, why? That seems odd." He's like, yeah, sometimes the darkness overwhelms me too much, and the pendant doesn't work. And that happens." So
Terrifying.
casual about it. Yeah. She's just like, "Oh, okay." So then she's like, "I need to get up and do stuff." He's like, "No, you're gonna stay in that bed until you're better. I'm gonna be gone for a week. So like we'll have people take care of you. But I'm gonna be gone. I'm gonna go to the war front. I'll be back into one of the war camps." And she's like, "I'll go." And he's like, "No, you're gonna stay in that bed." Uh, and then they have kind of a flirty banter because she's like, "Are you just trying to get me in your bed?" And he's like, "Usually I don't have to fake an injury. Like, no." It's kind of like some flirtiness back and forth with them. And then he leaves, and then she tries to like get out of bed, and she thinks she's paralyzed for a second because she can't move. But then when she like relaxes and leaves her feet in bed, she realizes she can move around the bed. She just can't get out of bed because he actually commanded her not to get out of bed unless she has to go to the bathroom. So for the next 5 days, she is literally stuck in his bed, like not in a bed, in his bed. The sprites bring her food and different things. Apparently, Carrion tried to come in once. It did not go well. She screamed at him, and he left. Um, but she's basically the healer. I cannot remember her name. I didn't write it down. The healer comes in.
Tana.
Tana?
It's like
Tiana? Tiana?
Letena, and the E has uh
I don't
a
remember.
thing on it.
She's been in and out basically, and she's like, when am I going to be able to get out of this stupid bed? And she goes, oh, almost all the poison's out of your body. As soon as the poison's all out of your body, you can get up immediately. And she's just like, she's like, one more day, basically, like one more day in here, you'll be fine. So then Carrion does come in finally, eventually, and he like saunters in as he does, like sets her food down, and then just like lays on the bed beside her, flirts with her. He's like, hey, he's like, do you wanna do some stuff in this bed? And she's like, we're not going to do things in his bed. Like, do you think that would go well for you? Like, do you? And he's like, no, but it'd be funny. Which I just think is like gross and funny all at the same time. Um, and she was like, you have boots. Also, this bed like magically cleans itself. So like
Mm-hmm.
Karen has these like muddy boots on, and she's like, get your muddy boots off of my bed. But the mud just like he's like, why? The mud will just go away. There's no problem. And she's like, last time I saw you, you didn't even have shoes. Like, how did you get the boots? Apparently, he made a bargain, I guess, technically, with Kingfisher. He like strolled in, I think the same day that the like vampire people attacked him, and was like, you want some boots? And he's like, yeah, I would like those. He goes, you have to bathe. And he's like, I smelled fine. Like, I don't understand. I can only imagine how much he actually smelled, to be honest, because they
Oh, he
clearly don't
probably
bathe.
smelled so horribly. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, you have to bathe. And he was like, he was really insistent how he doesn't like my smell. He was real weird about it. We know why, right?
We do.
We got the gist of why. Carrion has no idea. Saris knows, right? So he's like, yeah, it was really weird. I got put in this bath, and then they put this like, they like scrubbed me. He goes, I have like 4 layers of skin gone now, and then they put me in this like paste and left me in it till it got hard, and then they brought out the moss. So I'm not gonna go into complete detail, but apparently the moss was used to get all of the smells that we know off of his body, and then he left some kind of
We
innuendo
do have to talk about that in deep dive. We got to
about
deep
the
dive into
moss.
that. Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay. So they really clean his downstairs area with moss to make sure all smells are gone. But he's just like, oh, okay, because he's carrying and was like, that's he just
Sure.
doesn't question things, which is interesting to me. Um, and she's just like, eh. So basically, all of this is happening, and he goes, oh yeah, by the way, you can get out of bed now. That's what I was sitting here to tell you. And she was like, you could have started with that. And he's like, yeah, but you wanted to talk to me. So this is what happened. So she finally gets up and she like goes to the forge immediately. Like she's very, to her credit, really trying to figure it out, get back, fulfill her end of the bargain. She keeps trying. It's not working. She's tried like 4 different things. Nothing she's doing is working. She's like, it's mocking me at this point. Like so she's like, I'm gonna go outside. And then there's just this dark figure approaching her. Immediately panics. It's just Rin. It's just Renfus. And she was like, don't do that. And he's like, oh, yeah, I didn't think about you being scared. He's also covered in blood. And she's just like, what is, what is happening? And he's like, oh, yeah, there's not really like baths at camp. I'll go clean myself up and come back. Also, you've been invited to dinner again. And she's like, you're coming with me to dinner. And he goes, well, I wasn't invited. She goes, well, I'm invited and I'm inviting you. You're coming to dinner, basically. And she's like, where's Kingfisher? And he's with the healer lady. And he's like, is he injured? He goes, no. And he's just kind of vague about it. Like we don't really she's just like, okay. Um and then she's like really she's still trying to figure out the forge stuff. So she's like covered in blood, trying to figure out all this dinner, and she was like, hey, so like Nimorel is essentially the sword, is what I'm trying to recreate. Like what about that? Like, what happened? Why is it the only one that works? He was like, well, when all of the things shut down and all the rest of them fled, Nimorel kind of stuck around, pretty much not out of spite, but was like determined. But it did
Mm-hmm.
corrupt it, and so that's why it has that like blackness to it. It had that corruption. And so she's like, oh, okay. And then Saris also convinces Carrion to come to dinner with them. He's like, I want to go fight with guards. Like, that's all he's been doing this whole time. He's learning how to fight. He likes their fighting style, right? He's been doing that. And she's like, no, you're coming to dinner. And he's like, oh. I mean, sure, but like I don't want to go to dinner with you and, Grumpy King, but whatever. So they like stroll into the dining room. Kingfisher's not having it. Not having it. Rin is just uncomfortably sitting there like picking a bread roll. And they have shrunk the table, so they're not as far apart now. But she's like, I'm not gonna be relegated to the other side of the table. And she picks up the wine and sits like I think on the right side of him, like sits down. The sprites panic again. Renfus is like staring at her. So clearly there is something about sitting there
Yeah.
that is signaling something to everyone else but her. And Ren is like, "What there?" And she's like, "Yeah, she doesn't have a lot of protocol stuff." And Carrie's like, "I can just sit there." And Kingfisher's like, "No." She sat there. Ren's like, "I'll do it." He's like, "No, no, no. She made her choice. She's staying. She's staying here." So everyone's having like a little bit of a a meltdown. And then Kingfisher asks Carrion if he's been training with the guards. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I really like their fighting style. It's really graceful." And Kingfisher's just grumpy. He's like, "Gracefulness isn't going to help you on a battle." And he's like, "It's your guards." Like I don't like. He's just being grumpy about it. Um, And so then kind of an interesting like side conversation that ends up happening is he was like, "Yeah, like I've fought most of my life." He was like, "Your guards are really bloodthirsty. They remind me of the like people that used to fight in the pits for water rations." And Kingfisher's like, "Oh, we've gone way past that. Like we're not petty enough." Just like so snobby. We're not petty enough for that. And like we get kind of some of Saris's inner monologue about it. And she was like, I'm sure Carrion had to fight multiple times. And she's like, Kingfisher is looking at me, like questioning if I have ever had to, carry a blade. And she goes, I have. I've been in those same pits. And you can tell the Kingfisher's a little bit like, oh, that was me being
I
snobby.
think it's important to note that Karen was like, you would be if you had to fight for water.
Hmm. Yeah,
Like,
he's like,
if
no,
you were
no, like
dying of
this
thirst,
isn't,
you would. Yeah.
yeah, which they just don't have a concept of because they don't, like, I don't think
There's just
heat
so much
is really
water
a
there.
thing. Well, it's
Yeah.
just cold. So, like, being hot, like, when you're cold, you don't really get thirsty to the same level. Also, they're phase, so I'm sure their body
Well, there's also
internal
like
workings are,
an abundance of water.
yeah, they have too
Literally,
much water,
so
if
much
anything.
water.
Yeah. Um, So I literally put, I think Kingfisher realized he was being an a-hole in my notes. So like you can tell he was like, oh, that was me. And so it's like, I'm gonna start training in the mornings with the guards as well, because I'm not making any progress on this stupid forge. Um and she's also just sitting there and she's like refusing to eat. She's being stubborn. And Kingfisher in the most you've probably never read the 50 Shades of Grey books, but there's like a weird
I have.
obsession in those books with him trying to get her to eat. It's very much that vibe where he's just like obsessed. Kingfisher is obsessed with her eating. He's like, you have to eat. You have to eat everything. And she's just like, whatever. She's just like, I just want to drink. I don't want to eat. He's very like pushy. And she's like, you compelled me again. I can't believe you would do this to me. You left me in that bed for 5 days. Like, why would you do this? Like, clearly you're just doing everything for your own entertainment. And he goes, no, no. By this point, Carrion and Ren, by the way, are having their own separate conversation. This is
Yeah.
just a conversation that's happening between Sarah's. Like, they gave up a long time ago. They're like, we're going to talk about guard stuff. You all do whatever you have going on. And he's like, no, no. Everything I've done has been for your advantage. I've only ever done it to protect you because sometimes you're just too stubborn to listen to me and do what you need to do. And he's like, I could have compelled you to do other flirty things that I'm not going to go into. But I didn't. But I know you'd want to. And she's just like,
Flirty. I don't know if
I
flirty
put
quite covers it.
flirty because that's what I decided to call it in my notes. It's sexually explicit. We don't read it if you want to see what it is. She does a good job at it. It's fun.
Yeah.
But I don't want to regale all of it. But he's definitely like, you'd like to be in my bed. I could have ordered you to, but I don't want you to. I want you to come willing. And then they have this whole thing about who's gonna beg the other one first. It's a whole thing. Um, and then she again, so I think Saris forgets that there's other fairies in the room. And even though Kingfisher is whispering, uh, Ren hears everything and basically gives them the like, dude, I'm right here. Look, like we're all sitting here. I would like to eat my meal in peace.
Like, keep it in your
Stop.
pants.
Keep it in your pants, keep your smells to yourself. And she's just like, I hate that everyone can smell me all the time. This is a nightmare. Um, so basically, at this point, Kingfisher's like, you know what? We're not staying here another week. We're all going to camp. We're all going to the war camp. I don't know why that was what he decided. It kind of seems, in my eyes, in this section, he's just like, yeah, no, we're all going. Pack
Yeah.
up. We're going tomorrow. And everyone's just like, I mean, okay. And that's the end of chapter 19. Such a long chapter.
It is a long chapter.
Yeah. Chapter 20. So we learned that the camp is on like the you in the castle you still see the mountains, like we talked about the mountains you could see in the forge. The war camp's on the other side of these mountains, and she's just like, these a shadow gate to get there. Interestingly, they don't talk about Carrion having any weird side effects. I noted
Oh
that.
yeah.
I don't know if it's because he went through it conked out, and so he
I
like
think
missed
so.
that, or if Carrion just has a better constitution than Sarah's does. I don't know, but I did know that that wasn't really something that happened to
I
him.
think because Renfis said that it's just the first time you go through.
Mm-hmm.
So if he probably just missed it.
He dismissed it. Bless him. Look at that. Look at that for him.
I mean, he is Carrion
Um,
Swift, so are we surprised?
well, that was kind of my thought. I was like, I feel like he's got that like drunk pirate constitution where like that's just kind of his base state. So I don't think it would affect him that much. He's just like, oh, everything's a little topsy turvy. That's fine. That's normal for me. Let me just keep waddling my way around until I have equilibrium. Uh, they land on this like river, essentially like riverbank thing, and there's this like frozen or mostly frozen river. And then on the other side of this river is this like bleak, dark wasteland. It's like a smudge almost, as I think they describe it. And there's this like big, I don't know if that's a castle, but like building structure that's over there. And they call it Amon Traith. I wrote it down phonetically so I would remember Amon Traith. Or called Hell's Teeth. So like it looks terrifying. Like this is what Saris was picturing when they said they were going to a war front, not the
Hmm.
like, castle that she's been tucked away in. Um, and then a tree fairy comes out is the best way, or a tree fae comes out, and it's like it looks like a tree, and like they describe like when they talk, it's like logs rubbing together. Named Holgoff, and they do realize, and he's like, "Hey, everyone's heard about you, and they're real upset. You should go talk to them." And Kingfisher is like, "Ah, Ren's the general now. Like, I'm not the general anymore. It's Ren. Whatever." Rin does not seem happy about this fact. He is upset that Kingfisher isn't, doing what he thinks he should do. Then we cut to Carrion and Ren sparring. They're having a little guard spar here. Um, and Carrion's, fighting. He's a decent fighter. He's not as good as
Hmm.
Saris is, but a decent fighter. He's fought before. And he gets tired and he's like, this man's gonna kill me, so I'm gonna give up. And Ren's like, he's like, you're a fae. Like, I can't defeat you even if I could try. And he's like, I have fought alongside. This is like his very like epic speech. He's like, I have fought alongside many mortals and they never gave up. Are you gonna shame all of your ancestors that have come before you by giving up? And Carrion's like, fine. So he fights a little bit more, and then I think Rin like knocks him out, and Carrion's like, "I'm done. Go hit her. Like, stop hitting me. Go hit Saris." And also, I think this is important, but I didn't get all of it in my notes. Like while they're fighting, Rin is just like telling them about different levels of how frozen the river is in what season. You're just kind of
I know.
getting
Just like
tidbits of frozen
casually
river.
they're getting like a historical science lesson, essentially.
It's a really interesting way for like a book to have a lore dump that like you still want to kind of listen and pay attention to while there's some sparring going on. So he goes to fight Saris, and she's like, I'm a little nervous. Like this man is good at what he does. Like he's a Fey warrior, very good at what he does. But she's like, I know how to fight. I fought Madra's guard. I'll be fine. And so she tries to do the thing that Elroy used to do to her a lot, where like Rin is talking and she tries to like surprise him, and he just like easily blocks her. And she's like, oh no. But she doesn't give up. She keeps fighting him. And I think at one point she does get him to like legitimately take a step back. And she's like so proud of herself. Basically, in Kingfisher, just appears and he's like, proud of yourself? And she's like, I mean, yeah. Like, and she should be. Um, And she's like, "I'll fight you next." And he's like, "I don't have training wheels. So no. Like you're not gonna fight me." Basically. But one of the things that I thought was interesting about her inner monologue at this point, she says it's the first time she hasn't felt helpless since she was like, which since she was murdered, and I did put in parentheses, this is where I had to reevaluate my view of her. Because, like, that's traumatic. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so then, Kingfisher shows back up, and Memphis is like, we have to go to this war meeting. And Kingfisher's like, no. And she goes, this is the first time I've seen Rin angry. She goes, it's scary. Like, he's legitimately angry with Kingfisher. And then Kingfisher's like, come with me, human, because Ren, like, storms away. And she's like, that's not very, him-esque. And they're like walking through camp, and she's like, they're not staring at Kingfisher, they're staring at me. She's like, most of these people probably have never seen a human. So there's just like whispers of human, 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 like as they're like walking through this camp. He like Kingfisher has his like hood up, he's trying to be conspicuous, which is the most conspicuous thing ever. But apparently to him, that's inconspicuous. And then they walk into Kingfisher's tent, which is, gorgeous and lovely, and there's like books everywhere. There's like carpets and books, and she's like, this is a war camp. Like, why do you have so many books and like lush carpeting? And he's like, just doing some research, but like we don't really know about what. And there's dinner set for them again, obsessed with her eating, and it's like soup, and she's like, it does smell really good and I'm hungry. And so she's like kind of start, and he's like, will you please, he starts being like, will you please come in with me, will you please do this. I think he's realizing that telling her to do things isn't going to go well, and if he asks, she's like, wow, look what happens when you ask. Isn't this so much better? um and she's like, he does seem really tired, um and like he just seems like tired and kind of beaten down a little bit, and he's like, you do fight well. And she's like, oh, were you not expecting a human and a woman to fight well? He goes, no, I could tell by the way you were walking that you were a fighter. Like, you had some training, but you do fight well. Like, not as good as, like Ren. And she's like, I could have defeated him. He was like, he would not have been the general of the army if you could have defeated him. Like, nothing against you, but like he's fought significantly longer and is much stronger than you. So he would
Like
not be
centuries
this
longer,
general.
so.
Yes, yeah. So then we go, they're like talking back and forth. They talk a little bit more again about the blood curse thing that we've mentioned, and
Mm-hmm.
like the whole thing of like, because she was like, oh, don't you just want all humans to be your slaves? And he was like, oh no, humans weren't slaves. They were feeding bags, but they were never slaves. Like, we ate them. He was like, yeah, we had this blood curse thing on us, and it made us, want to eat human blood. He's like, but we don't really, have that anymore. But they do still have the like sharp canines left over, essentially, from, the curse. It's now like part of their genetic makeup. It's kind of what she's theorizing in her head. And she just like really can't figure out why he's like, he's clearly concerned about her. Like, he's asking about her well-being, he's making sure she's being fed, and she's like, I don't understand. Like, why do you care? And he goes, I brought you here and you're my responsibility. And also, like, I need you to make these relics, or we will never defeat the enemy that you just saw over there. Basically, like, you see what we're up against.
Mm-hmm.
Now, not completely, but to the same degree. And she's like, you can trust me. And for some reason, the word trust snaps something in his brain. And he lifts her up, shoves her against a wall, and she's like, oh no, gonna kill me. No, then on the opposite. They start being a little spicy. Um, and like she's like, oh, okay, I'm into this. And then he like, she does panic like a little bit because it's intimate. And she's like, I don't know what to do. And then he like pulls away, and she's like, oh no, I shouldn't have done that. That was bad. And then he like runs back towards her and kisses her again. Um, and then he does very romancy book to me, but takes her hand and like puts it on his heart, and she's like, I can feel how fast his heart is like going. And he's just like with his eyes like begging her to like pay attention to him, take him seriously. And he's like, I can't trust anything anymore, right? Like, I can't do it. There was some like, he was making out with her neck. There was some things happening, right? And he's like, I can't trust anyone. And then he just leaves. And she's like, I mean, okay. And she goes, he didn't command me to stay in the tent, which is his. And I did what any sane human would do. And I ran.
Correct.
I immediately ran away. So, um, so she's running. She's like, I have no idea where I'm going. I know nothing about this camp. Like, I just got here. I need to get away. And then she runs into Rin. And Rin's like, she's like, oh, he can smell me. Dang it. And Rin's just like, I need to stop. He's like, okay, we're taking you to the war tent. You're gonna come with us, um, and go sit by the fire because the fire will burn off those pheromones, basically. So go sit over there, and people might not notice. And she's okay, which is where Carrion is sitting. Carrion's having a great time with a quiche.
Yep.
He's just
A
hanging out,
quiche.
eating a
It's a
quiche.
quiche.
He's eating a quiche, and she's like, "What's quiche?" She goes, "I don't know, but it's great."
Oh.
Like he's just so nonplussed about all of it. And I think that's what's driving Sarah so crazy. And then we meet a lot of the like war counselor people, and there is a lady named Danis who like clearly is very upset, has already hit someone in this meeting, and then eventually Kingfisher, Ren's like, Kingfisher, you need to like, you're here. You need to tell them you're here. She is not having it with him. She's like, you abandoned us for a century when we needed you most. Like, I understood why we needed to burn down the town, but then you just disappeared. Like, clearly you're a traitor. Blah, 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 blah. I need to kill you, basically. And Ren is like, you need to tell them. Like, just tell them. And, like, there's this, like, tortured look on Kingfisher. And he's like, I can't. We don't know if this is, like, he physically can't or he just can't talk. We don't really know. He's like, I
Mm-hmm.
want to, but I can't, basically, which makes me think it's like he was
Yeah.
compelled not
Mm-hmm.
to. So then, I think it's Danis or Danya. I have both in my notes. I don't remember. I think it's Danis.
I think it's
Basically,
Danya.
is like Danya. Okay, cool. Danya is like, I want to believe you. You can tell she wants to, but she's like, I can't. I'm gonna kill you. Basically, like she's just too like heartbroken. She's like one of those people that like if you broke up with her and broke her heart, she like probably would stab you. Like that's
For
kind of the
sure.
vibe that I'm
1,000,000%.
getting from her. So she goes to like stab him in the throat, and Kingfisher's like just kind of resigned to it. Basically, he's like, "Yeah, that's fair. That's what I deserve." And then Saris is like, "I didn't intend to do this, or like I wasn't even thinking about it. I just stood up, put my hand out, and yelled stop." Um, Danya's sword explodes. Like all of the metal just breaks apart and is thrown everywhere. And she like Danya turns and goes, "Holy crap, we have an alchemist." And then Kingfisher goes, "She's mine." It feels unnecessary. He's like, "She's my alchemist." Um, and then everyone's just kind of like in a bit of a shock. And then you just hear boom, this big booming noise, and someone yells, "Icebreakers," which we don't know what that means. But there's an immediate panic and everyone runs. So clearly, it's not great. And that's the end of chapter 20. So, on to 21. It's much shorter. We're almost there.
So much shorter.
Um, so much shorter. So basically, they're like trying to decide what they need to do. You walk out. There are thousands, like thousands and thousands of the feeders that are like climbing, clawing over themselves. The first like half of the horde is like running, I think, across the ice. That part I was having a hard time like piecing together. They're running across the river, but I think they don't like the ice, but they're fine with water. That seemed to be what I was getting. That part I was a little bit, I
It's
couldn't
the
quite figure it
opposite.
out.
They don't mind the ice, but they can't cross the water.
Okay, there we go. Um, and there's basically this debate between Carrion and Saris if they should help, and Carrion's like, was it Saris was saying that I think it was Saris. I don't have that on my notes, but Saris was like, we can't do anything, and Carrion's like, we have to do something. Like they're having this
Yeah.
debate, and she's like, fine. So they try to go help the icebreaker things, which is that's what the icebreaker is. Is these big like hammers, kind of essentially
Mm-hmm.
what we're getting, and it's beating on the ice to try to get it to where they can't cross um this river. And suddenly, so Kingfisher like finally like lashes out, and a lot of the vamps just stop. They stop doing. Oh yeah, they're vampires, by the way. The zombies are
Mm-hmm.
vampires. They like call them vampires.
Yep.
So I put
I
vamps.
literally was reading it and was like, "What?" And Joel just started laughing.
So they're vampire zombies. And so they're like stopped, and she's like, "Oh, they stopped the vamps." And Karen's like, "What was that?" And she goes, "Oh, that was Kingfisher." Real casual at this point about it all. And then there's this voice that we hear from the other side, and it's like, "Oh, hello, Kingfisher." Here, and it's this like delighted, and you hear whispers of a man named Malcolm, which for a big bad villain is such a funny name. And everyone else has these like kind of unique names, right? And then
Malcolm.
it's just Malcolm. Um, and clearly everyone is we don't know who Malcolm is. Everyone else terrified, very terrified of Malcolm. They're concerned. Um, but he does come out. He's very tall, slender, has like the sharpest blonde bob you've ever like Lucius Malfoy wishes he could have as sharp of a bob as this sharp long white hair basically. um he's like, Kingfisher, you have to show yourself to me, like it's only been a few weeks since I saw you last. And you can tell everyone's like, oh, like what do you mean? Like he's like, it's only been a couple of weeks. So he's like, but don't worry about it, I'll see you soon. And that's the end of the chapter. That's what we get.
Yep.
So we don't really get any more about him. Like clearly the generals are upset. He's gonna have to explain why he's been talking to good old Malcolm.
Oh,
We also don't
Malcolm.
know who we don't know who Malcolm is. And that's it. So there
That's
we go.
it. Chapter
Chapter
recap
recap.
over. Wow, what a
Woo!
ride.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I have so many thoughts. I have so many
Mm-hmm.
thoughts, but before we do that,
Yes.
let's do our section
Section superlatives.
superlatives. Yes. Drama
Section
queen of the
superlatives.
section. Oh, section superlatives.
Kingfisher.
Kingfisher is definitely drama queen of the segment. Um,
Yeah.
just like repeatedly commanding Saris to do things, and then like
Yeah.
he doesn't just start asking her instead of commanding her. He's like, interesting. You're so much more pliant and like when
That's
you're
true.
requested to do stuff instead of me telling you. And Saris is like,
Yeah.
excuse me, which I
Which
also was
is,
like, excuse me.
I mean, he's not wrong.
He's
He's like,
not
oh, should I
wrong.
have just been He's like, should I have just been asking you? Like, that would have
Yes,
been way
sir.
simpler. I think he's
Correct.
just genuinely surprised. He's like, oh, well, I would have just done, like, he truly just seems like, oh, well, I would have just done that.
Yeah.
If I would have
Well, so
known.
then, and then, like, on top of that, like, she doesn't just say, if you could just trust me, and then he snaps. She's like, I want to help. Like, I'm the only one who has the power to
Yeah,
potentially help your people.
to do
Like,
this.
it's the
Yeah.
right thing to do. If you just asked
Hmm.
me, I would agree to it. Like, I want to. Why can't you just trust me? And then he's like, mouth on hers, up against a wall, snaps.
Yeah, he snapped.
It is
Like,
a, it is, it's a very dramatic response.
it's like that rubber band, like, scenario where it's, like, being pulled
Yeah.
and pulled and pulled, and it just, he couldn't pull anymore. He let go.
Absolutely snaps. Yeah.
Oh, something that I did forget to mention that is important. When I had it in my notes and I missed it. When Saris went into the tent, Carrion is like, "Why is there blood on your neck?"
Oh yeah.
Which is important. He's like, "There is some blood on your neck," and she's just like, "Oh, yeah, must have just like something must have happened." Like she doesn't really know. But I mean, we
Yeah.
know, right?
We know. He
Like we
was
know
all
what.
over that neck.
Yeah, he was. So I mean, clearly Kingfisher bit her.
Yep.
Uh, which we don't know what that means. So it's
Also,
not talked about.
to add to the drama queen of it all, okay, everyone's like freaking the F out about her sitting on his
Yeah.
right hand side. And he's like, she chose it, so it's hers. And you're just like, dude, like, explain. No, no one's gonna
Nope.
explain. You're just gonna be
Nope.
like, and then you're just gonna be like, she's mine.
The she's
Okay.
my alchemist killed me. I actually laughed out loud. Because like I get what it's doing. I get mechanically in the book what it's for. It's that whole like she's mine grumpy thing, which I
Yeah.
love. But it was just so funny in the context of this woman was going to
Like,
stab
there's an
him.
alchemist, and she's mine.
Yeah, she's my alchemist.
Yeah.
And I don't think the lady was like, well, yeah.
Well, yeah, she was like, yes, what?
Duh.
And
Like, we haven't had one, or I'm like, unless it's Ren's. Like, that's about all we
right,
have. Like, he would have brought it
yeah,
beforehand. Clearly, you've been gone and she's new.
yeah.
Clearly, it's yours. Anywho,
Kingfisher is definitely takes drama queen for this segment, which is nice, giving Saris a break from the
yeah,
title.
Sarah's was pretty like normal,
She
interestingly, in
was.
this
She
section.
was
I
normal.
was much
Her
less
hatred of
irritated.
Carrion is still a tad bit irritating, but like,
Yeah,
I get it.
he does sound like I like him. I do think on the second reread, I might be more of a Ren girl than I am a Carrion girl because I
I
forgot
love
how good Ren
Renford.
was.
Yeah.
He might be
Love
more
him.
up my alley, but
Yeah.
Carrion is funny. I do see how he could be grating,
Yes, I do.
though.
I do understand a little bit why Saris hates him. Not hates him,
Yeah,
like is just infuriated with him always. But
she's just
okay.
frustrated.
Craziest thing to happen?
Vampire zombies,
Yeah,
I would say.
literally. I'll say it again. I was reading. I was sitting in the kitchen. Joel was like, puttering around, and I just go, "What?" And he just starts
Yeah.
laughing at me. I was like, "They, it's
What do you mean?
vampires."
Zombies, they're dead. But they're like less intelligent vampires, I guess. I don't
Yeah.
know. They're I mean they call them a horde. They have
Yep.
this like kind of
Which is
like bee zombie like mentality
yeah.
where they just kind
Yeah.
of yeah,
Yeah,
they're
yeah, no,
interesting.
that's definitely the craziest thing to happen. Um, I actually have more on that if we want to go to Urja's Corner.
Oh, no. Ooh,
My corner.
okay. It's her corner.
Okay. It's my corner. Okay, so I know that we've done this a couple of times, but not in this context. Let's talk about
Mhm.
vampires.
Vampires. I love vampires. Yeah.
Me too. Okay, so last time obviously we had a whole little section in deep dive about zombies because I
Hmm.
mean, the feeders appear very zombie-like to me. But
They do.
now that they call them vampires and we meet Malcolm, who's got like red eyes, very pale, like
It's very Bram Stoker vampire
yes,
to
yes.
me. It's more reminiscent of that.
Exactly. I think that it's important to take a look at vampires and zombies, honestly, and the place that
Mhm.
they hold in a historical context of literature and media. So I've pulled some
Yeah.
things up. Okay. I looked up on Google. You can look up on Google vampire zombies. And the AI overview given to you by Google's AI function. A
Oh
vampire
girl.
zombie is a hybrid creature or concept where an undead entity exhibits characteristics of both a vampire and a zombie, such as a mindless, reanimated corpse with vampiric traits like blood draining or enhanced abilities, or an aware creature with zombie like physical decay. These creatures can be found in video games like Plants vs. Zombies and as concepts in books and movies that blend the undead features of both monsters. Furthermore, I looked up what a half vampire, half zombie might be called. This is where it gets interesting. It came up with Dampier,
Oh,
Dhampir, or Dompier, I
which I've
guess.
heard of that.
Yes, I
Yeah.
have too. Which made me, I don't know if you've read the series or watched the series or movie, The Vampire Academy.
Um, maybe.
There,
Maybe.
it is this, there's a series, I want to say it's either on I feel like it's either on Prime or it's on Hulu. Um,
Mm,
that is a TV series that follows the book series of the same name. They also made a movie
mm.
uh, with
I've
Zoe
probably seen it,
Dutch.
but I don't know if I think I've heard of it, but not like
Yeah.
physically seen it, if that makes sense. Yeah.
So in that context, I think that context might be like the most similar to what we're seeing here.
Mm.
Interestingly enough, Dhampir is the term that they use for half mortal, like half human, half vampire.
Like a
And then they
blend,
have
yeah.
the kind of like undead vampire zombie type things are called the
Mm.
Strigoi. And then we have like
Oh,
the pure blooded vampires are called Moroi. So we have Moroi, Strigoi, and Dhampir. Now, the reason that
interesting.
I'm saying that that is the most relevant to what we're reading here is this is
Mhm.
not a fae book that we're reading. In fact, surprise, this is a vampire book
Surprise.
that we're reading. Okay, because
basically.
the
Yeah.
Moroi Vampire Academy have special powers. And
Hmm.
guess what the Fae vampires have? Special powers.
Special powers.
Like
Yeah.
they have specialized powers. They don't all have the same power, but it's like very much categorized into like a
Yeah.
few different types of
Hmm.
powers that they have. They have canine teeth. Um,
Hmm.
Clearly, after Kingfisher's whole biting her to mark her thing, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Um,
Yeah. They use
n-
them.
they use them, and now circling that back over to the feeders, right?
Hmm.
Something that I think is important to note now that we've advanced so much with like vampires and stuff to where like to turn into a vampire now it's more common for it to be like an exchange of blood and then the person has to die. But back in the good old days, it used to just be a bite from a vampire
Yeah. You
and
just
that
got bit.
turns you into a vampire. Very similar to a scratch or a bite from a zombie, which would turn you into a zombie.
Zombie. Hmm.
So, what I am saying here is that we are not reading a book about the Fae at all. We are reading an ancient history of vampires.
We're reading a vampire versus zombies book. Is I think
Basically.
a better
Yeah.
description. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they
So
call themselves Fae.
they call them Fae. They call themselves Fae. We do have an interesting point. I don't think we've ever seen the feeders in the daytime. It's
Mm-hmm.
mostly been near dusk and nighttime, so that is very vampiric so far.
It is.
Don't know if
Yeah.
it's always going to be the case. Um,
I don't remember.
Interestingly enough, they do seem more like zombies because they are a horde and they're a little bit mindless. But Malcolm has red eyes, is very classic and put together. He's clearly like the mastermind. There's some sort of like not hive control, but like it seems
I
similar
mean, kind of.
to it could be hive control, yeah. So he's like the main one. Let me further this. Where else have we seen red eyes in a scary monster more
Don't
recently?
know.
In fourth wing,
Oh yeah.
the
My brain
Venom.
doesn't think of that as red, but you're right. Yes. Yeah.
The
That's a couple
Venom
books
have
ago.
red eyes. They are not dead, but they're kind of dead.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're like they decay. They turn gray.
They
They're
turn
kind of
gray, they
undead.
decay, and they are more vampiric than zombie like in my mind because they also
Yeah.
draw energy out of a thing to sustain themselves. It's very
Yeah.
vampiric. So just
They're energy
keeping that
vampires.
in mind for whenever we talk about fourth wing again, but that's like in my mind, that's a
Yeah.
form of vampire as well.
In person.
All right. But yeah, that's my corner. That's it. That was a very short corner. But we have vampire
I
zombies.
like it.
We have seen them in a historical context. I think this is a really interesting take on it because it seems
Mhm.
so you have the Fae, which are like kind of like I don't want to say like Twilight vampires. They're very much vampire Fae.
Well.
They can walk in the day, they have magical powers, superhuman strength and speed, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then you have the zombie vampires who also have superhuman strength and speed. They're fast, they're terrifying. They hunger for flesh, I think, rather than blood,
Yeah. I go
right?
for
And
something.
then they hunger for something. And then you have Malcolm. Now, years ago, centuries ago, I guess millennia ago, the Fae were put under a blood curse, which turned them into the
Mm-hmm.
vampires, which gave them the teeth. And then, like, the curse was lifted, but they still have the fangs. I wonder if
Mm-hmm.
Malcolm, much like last time, I wondered if Madra was maybe some sort of feeder,
Oh. Mm-hmm.
vampire feeder, whatever. I
Mm-hmm.
wonder if Malcolm is like a vampire curse with the blood curse of old and what
Oh,
his
maybe.
connection with Fisher is in that way. But yeah, there's very clearly like a very distinct relation between
Mm-hmm.
those vampires and the vampires that they're fighting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, there is.
Yeah. And then one last thing, like you were saying last time, kind of similar to vampires, the only thing that can kill a feeder is
Chop
silver.
their head off.
Yep.
Oh yeah, silver and chop their head off. But
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Silver and chop their head off. So they are very much vampire zombies.
Mm-hmm.
And
But
that's
yes,
my
yeah, silver is very
corner. Yeah.
How much time? Yay! Good. Okay. We don't have to bring a whole segment back. We can just do this in deep dive and see what you think. But I don't know if you caught any Beauty and the Beast parallels
Oh yeah.
pretty strongly in this
So
section,
many.
but I have some thoughts. So I don't know if we want to just do that in deep dive or if we want to do like a temporary Beauty and the Beast comparison section.
Oh, let's do a
Bring
temporary
that
Beauty
back.
and the Beast. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's bring it back. Bringing back a
Bring it back
segment.
because I have
Beauty and the
thoughts.
Beast comparison. All right, take it
Yes.
away.
Okay. So I mean, so there's a couple. I mean, I have some more like crazy thoughts on it, but the main one, which was the slashing of the pictures, right? Like
Yep.
very classic. At least I don't know if I've ever read a Beauty and the Beast book, but like in the movies, he
Disney.
slashed all of the
Yep.
photos, couldn't see himself. That very clearly paralleled. So there's my thoughts on who was who. So
Okay.
Kingfisher, the Beast. He's the Beast, right?
Obviously, yeah.
Obviously the Beast. Saris is Belle.
Yes.
Very much Belle. I think um Elena, his sister,
Everlane.
I don't remember her name. Everlane is like Mrs. Potts.
Yes. I get that vibe from
It's
her.
Mrs. Potts. Renfis or Ren is Cogsworth, but like more charming.
Yes. Aw.
It's Cogsworth. And then
Yes.
Carrion is Lumiere.
Yes. There's no doubt in my
Yeah.
mind that Carrion is
We don't
Lumiere.
really have a chip, except for maybe I guess the Onyx can be chip.
Oh, Onyx is
But
Chip.
yeah.
I
Just like
love
the
it.
characteristics of what those characters do and represent is very much, I think, like Ren very clearly is like the Cogsworth of like trying to get Kingfisher. He's like, he was
Mm-hmm.
good once. He's having a hard time.
Yeah.
He's trying. So that is my like it's not a completely direct parallel, but I do think there was some inspiration clearly taken from
I
the
agree.
style of characters.
I'm gonna counter your Carrion Swift.
Okay.
He might be Gaston, but in like a really goofy way.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't think of him as being as like devious, which we don't know yet. He could be more devious. I view
Yeah.
him more as just like I am so like he's not French, but like I am so hot.
Mm-hmm.
The feather duster must love me.
A Gaston Lumiere combo.
It could be a combo. Yeah. No, I think Gaston would work as
Because
well
Gaston
if
also
Gaston.
thinks he's really hot. So
That's true. I think from like a Saris perspective, I think she thinks he's Gaston. From a me perspective, I think he's more like Lumiere. But I do think from a
that's fair.
Saris perspective, that is her Gaston.
Oh, for sure. Definitely her Gaston.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Also the forced dinners together.
Yes. Like, and they're the only two. They sit across from the table,
Yep.
like the long table from each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The attack of the feeders very much parallels with the attack of the wolves. But
Mm-hmm.
instead of the beast getting hurt and Belle being like, "You shouldn't lose your temper,"
Yeah.
it's a parallel. But like in the end, where
Mm-hmm.
we just get to, he's like, "Oh, if I'm just nice to you and I ask you to do things, you'll do stuff," and she's like,
Yeah.
"Correct." That feels
Yes.
very
Yeah.
much
Don't
like
command me.
after the wolves scene where Beast
Yeah.
and Belle aren't friends yet, but they're like gaining an understanding for each other.
I think there may be something there that wasn't there before.
Mm-hmm.
Like that song, that's what's happening kind of in this
Yep.
section.
Yep.
It's like
I agree.
it's like slightly spicier Beauty and the Beast. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
again not exact, but there's a lot of similar story elements
There are.
that go with it that I think maybe that was part of her framework. I don't know. I don't know if Callie Hart,
Mm-hmm.
but like it has some of it in there. I think that kind of beastly, grumpy, like used to be like he transformed into this beast. He used to not be, as beastly kind of
Yep.
thing, and they're looking for the cure for him and the whole 10 yards.
Oh yeah. No, completely agree. 100%.
Yes.
And
So
she is the only
that
one who
was
can potentially cure him.
yeah. So far we haven't found anything she can't touch. As far as I guess Numerel, but that's more just like no one can. It's cursed,
Yeah.
which I guess is kind of similar to the rose,
I
but
guess
in a
it's
different
true.
sense.
Very
Yeah.
true. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
I
there
love
we
it.
go. The moment she woke up in the bed and saw the slash pictures, I was like, she's in the base bedroom,
I
and
felt
then
that
like
too.
literally she is. She's in
Yeah.
Kingfishers, but yeah. So
Can I introduce another segment that I think we're going to want to keep?
absolutely. Mhm.
Comparisons to Lord of the Rings. Because we have talked about this in every single episode, I think.
We have. There's a lot of parallels.
A lot of parallels to Lord of the Rings. So Kingfisher is also very clearly the Aragorn character.
Oh yeah.
Extremely reluctant. I mean, Golroth, the Earth Sprite, calls him sire. Like, and
Yeah, like
Kingfisher's
you are.
like, yeah, like you are
He's like,
our
no,
leader. And Kingfisher's like just Kingfisher, and Golroth is like, no, sorry, cannot do that.
that's not how this works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very much Aragorn. I think the
Hmm.
scene in the war room where Danya is like, I mean, it's all obviously taking it a little further, but it does feel very like Boromir
Yeah.
and Aragorn like fighting about like, like Boromir's like, are you gonna step up? And Aragorn's like, no, and he's like, well, why the heck not? Like
Yeah.
like
It's your birthright. You must.
right, yeah. Is it
Yeah, you
Boromir?
must
It's one
take
of them.
this.
It's some of the humans. Maybe in Rohan. Maybe it's in Rohan. But
Oh no, Boromir is the same. I mean, Boromir is technically the leader of the kingdom that Aragorn
yes,
like abandoned,
yeah,
essentially, and he's like, "You can't tell me what to do. You abandoned your post. Like you
correct.
did this kind of thing." And he's like, "I'm just." He's like, I've seen." I think Kingfisher's in a similar but different position where he's like, "I've seen what my bloodline does.
Yeah,
It corrupted. It did these things, and he's corrupted, right? He's like,
yes, yeah.
I
Like
can't do this.
I don't have the right
I'm not in a
to.
I don't have a right. I'm not in the place that I can. Same thing with Aragorn and Boromir's like, it
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
right.
Like, you don't. This isn't a choice.
Yeah,
This is like, this isn't. It's not even an expectation. It's a. This is what you do.
it's
Like
like
you have to do this.
destiny. Yeah, sort of like
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's
It's
like
your
your
burden. You're
duty.
shirking your burden. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So
Onto onto
I have
my family.
very Aragorn vibes there, very Lord of the
It
Rings
is.
vibes. And then,
I love an Aragorn.
man, and what's the Amontraith? Is
Oh,
Mordor.
the like the Mordor of it all. Yeah, no, it's
Is
exactly like if you've seen the new Lord of the Rings series, like how they depict Mordor, 100% how
I
like
have
the whole like
not, but
it's
that's so funny.
highly recommend. Or I guess
Yeah,
Mordor in the movies as well. But yeah, that just
yeah,
like wasteland of like roiling horde of orcs. Yeah.
yeah.
That
Very
that's
black
that
and dead. Oh yeah, the orcs are very similar to the feeders as well.
that will haunt me to my days. The that still freaks me out. The orc, like I watched these movies when I was really little, like coming out of the muck ball
Oh yeah,
and like screaming, terrifying. That's like
yeah.
I'm not really afraid of a lot of that. That got me.
Oh man, those movies terrified me when I was a child. Like when they first came
Yeah, me
out,
too.
my brother always wanted to watch them, and I was like, this is too
Mhm.
scary for me.
Oh, I liked them, but that one, see, I always just kind of looked away. That and like the floating, which I guess also involves a river. The like
Hmm.
floating dead bodies in the
Yep.
river in
Yeah.
the like before they get to the
Terrifying.
big spiders. Yeah, that
Yeah.
whole thing.
Also, the ring wraiths can't cross flowing water.
That's true. Yeah, which is also very like ancient lore
Yeah,
esque kind of things as well. I can't think of
because
what.
it's
It's not
purifying
necessarily.
and their souls are too corrupted.
Yeah, it's like corrupted. I can't think of like my brain said. I do think it's a Fae thing. Interestingly, I do think that
I
might
do think
be
so too.
like a Fey lore thing, so that's kind of where some of the Feyness of it comes
Yeah,
in. But
yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, Malcolm
Yeah,
in the place of Sauron, not sure yet.
yeah. I think he's more like Saruman,
Yeah.
maybe.
Or like I haven't seen the prequel, The Rings of Power, but maybe he's like a young Sauron
He could be.
before
Um,
he's just an
uh,
eye.
yeah, young Sauron is brings a lot of complicated feelings for people because they made him hot, and people are
Yikes.
like,
I
"Wait,
mean, evil is
he's supposed to
charming.
be."
So,
That's kind of the thing that's what they're saying. They're like,
yeah.
he's supposed to be like, especially in the Lord of the Rings context, like
Well,
power
yeah,
is
there's a
very like
reason
seductive.
that everyone took the rings.
It's alluring. It's seductive. It like whispers to you. Like it's not really like this big scary daunting thing. It's just like come to me. I'll take care of
Yeah.
you. It's the like yeah, the trappings of a abusive ex-boyfriend, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
kind of.
it's
Yeah.
kind of closer to the vibe of what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Um
But yeah,
which
I
Malcolm
just
kind of
like
has.
he does. I mean, he calls
Yeah.
Kingfisher darling.
He's like, I don't he's like, if he didn't look the way he did,
He would
charming.
be hot,
Although he
yeah.
very much I'm picturing, like, Jamie Campbell Bower with red contacts is kind of what I'm getting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Which
so
would be
funny.
attractive and charming,
Yeah.
but still kind of startling in a way, where he's
Mhm.
just like well, I mean, kind of him as a Volturi, but
Yeah.
a little more alluring than the Volturi were kinda supposed to be a little grotesque looking,
They
but
were.
which I
Yeah.
guess he's supposed to be in this too.
I
There's
think
kind
he's
of this,
supposed to be
like,
a little grotesque.
otherness about him in it, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So, Lord
there
of
we
the
go.
Rings, we'll keep it going. It might also be a temporary
Yep,
segment, but there's just
we'll see.
like I got so much of that when I was reading these.
There is. Yeah, I like it. I love talking about Lord of the Rings. So,
Yep. All right, shall we get
okay.
into the deep dive? Deep
Deep dive.
dive. That was me diving.
Coming on in. Yeah, I was like, I liked the diving.
Yeah,
Very graceful.
thanks. Oh boy, where to begin?
Mm-hmm. Do we want to start at the beginning? Do we want to just pull up
Let's start at the
something?
beginning. Yeah,
Okay, she wakes up in his bedroom.
right. Well, before that though, the
That's
nightmares that she's having. Do we
yeah,
think
that it
they're
like
poison
opens.
induced or
No, I couldn't decide if it was like poison induced or if it's just like she's now afraid. Like she talks a lot
yeah,
about being afraid in this
she is
section,
afraid, yeah.
being fearful. So I couldn't tell if it was just like she finally had like something to put her fear into. Because
Yeah.
like she's afraid, but like I think she knows like even if she doesn't like Kingfisher, she's not afraid of him. She's not really afraid of the the Fae necessarily. She
Yeah.
should be, but she's not. And so, but she feels
Classic.
fearful. So I think that was a way to channel her fear
Yeah. Yeah, I
into something.
agree. Yes, and then yeah, she wakes up in his bed.
Yeah,
Knows immediately where she is, which I appreciate.
she's like black Kingfisher.
Yep.
She's like that was what did it. She was like, it's too
Yep.
much black in this room. It's got to be his.
And then he's there. So we know that he's very possessive of her. We
Hmm.
know that he's attracted to her.
Yes, yeah.
We know that he cares for her. We don't know in
Hmm.
what context the care is, but it's there. He's definitely been
There,
like sitting by her side
but the whole
the
time he's not
entire time
left.
she was out. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He has not left that chair the whole
No.
time. Which we also don't really know how long she's been out. I don't know if we get did we get like a timeline? I don't remember.
I don't know. I don't think so. A couple of days
I don't think so
maybe?
either.
Let me check. I don't think we get it.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think we ever got like a timeline for that.
We did not. She's just been out for well, if it took her 5 days after she woke up for the poison to leave, it's probably been like a day or two,
Hmm.
I would assume.
Yeah, like it's. I don't think it's been that long, but I mean,
Yeah,
it's been at least a whole night, if not
at
more.
least. Yeah.
And Kingfisher's just like I'm picturing him like I don't know, like you know how they always depict like the brooding hot guy like slung
Yeah.
back in his throne.
Oh yeah,
It's kind of he's like
for sure.
prepared for her to wake up, so he's like I gotta look hot when she wakes. So he's like sitting there
Yes,
in like a or he was like sitting like weird and he felt her stir and he's like, "Oh, let's get into
for
hot
sure.
guy position."
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
She describes his hair as wild, but it's not wet.
It's not wet now. Wild.
It gets wet again later, but in this moment, not wet.
His hands been running through it. Can't be
Yeah.
wet anymore. All the water's out of it. It's been I mean, they
That
are very clean. I do think there is this like sense of cleanliness with them where I
yeah.
do get the sense that Kingfisher just bathes a lot. He's
Oh
obsessed with
yeah,
bathing.
for sure.
Which I guess if your nose was that sensitive, I would be too. He smells everything.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Which
Yeah.
brings us to, shall we? Shall we?
Oh, to which one?
To Carrion bathing.
Yeah,
Not safe for work, guys. Not safe for work.
not safe
So
at all.
essentially, so they like bathe him and They put him like
Mm-hmm.
a whole body mask, like a whole body clay mask, essentially, which is I
Yep.
find hilarious, but that's fine.
Full
He had
spa
like a
day.
little spa
Yeah.
day. And then
Uh-huh.
he says that they brought out the moss, and he was like, and alludes to having a four-way, essentially.
Which I don't think he did. I
I
think
don't
he
think
just
so
wants her.
either.
Like I think it's one of those like like a bathhouse type thing where like
Yeah.
they just scrub
Yeah.
everything. It's not
Okay,
sexual.
but here's the thing, Colleen. I have looked up fan art for Quicksilver, and it didn't
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand the context of this until I read this chapter. There is a picture of
You've
him
seen
in
that?
a bath with a water sprite like and
Yeah. Yeah.
wrapped around him seductively.
No, I think they were just doing their job, and Carrion was just like, yeah. That's the only part where I'm a little bit like, no, I kind of get why she's annoyed with him. Like she was like, of course
Yeah.
you would think that's what's happening. So
But
I
does it
get a
happen
little bit
late?
of
I
it.
need to know because of the fan art.
I don't think so. I think it's just that, but I honestly don't know. I don't remember. I think it's just that because they don't go back to the castle that much after this. I don't think.
Okay.
So
I'm
I
just
think
putting it
it's
out there. There is fan art out there where Carrie and Swift is
I've never
not
looked.
joking. It is real.
I think that might just be what they think happened, but I could be
Okay.
wrong. We also don't know. It
We have
could
no
have,
idea.
but I took it more as like they just seemed very like the sprites just seem more efficient. Like
Yes.
I'm taking this as off of like the fire sprites that we've seen and
Yeah.
things, but
Right, right. I think what really happened is he was like, "Oh my God," and they were like, "Shush.
yeah, they're like, shut up.
Get
We're doing our job.
just stay still."
Like, yeah, I don't think he protested too much, but I think he was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like,
That's
"Oh,
what we're
this is
doing.
happening."
Okay. Good to know. I have no control
Killed
over
me.
this.
That's what I wanted to talk about. I was like, I saw fan art out
That's fair.
there.
Oh, yeah. I haven't looked up a lot of I will. So I try to avoid fan art before I finish it, just because you do get weird spoilers like that. And so
Yeah.
by the time I finished this book, I think I was just like a little haunted. I do remember feeling haunted by the end of this book that I didn't look anything up.
I
So,
don't know
um,
why, but I feel like just with as much as we've read, I can understand that. We're about halfway
it's
through
a
the book right now, so I get it.
there's like a darker sense to it. I remember just being like, oh no, which the second book is coming out soon. So
I
very excited
know,
about
I'm
that.
excited.
I'm hoping it lines up with when we finish this because I don't want
Yeah,
to
that
read
would
ahead
be
if I can
great.
help it, but I might just so I can read the second book. We'll see.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Um yeah, so that happened. Um
we'll carry on.
Also, so going back to your comment about 50 Shades of Grey and
Oh,
what's his name? Grey. Christian Grey
Mr.
being
Gray,
obsessed with
Christian Gray, for eating.
uh Anastasia
Yes,
Steele? Is that
it's
her
been
name?
a long time. Yes,
Yep.
I do. I don't think I connected
Christian
until
Grey and
now that
Anastasia Steele.
they're different names for Gray, and I didn't
They sure
notice
are.
that until you said them together.
Yep, yep, yep.
I read these books like early college. Like it was
Oh
like
yeah.
I was on
I
my
only
own
read
and
the
I was
first
like,
one
I'm gonna
early
read.
college, but yeah.
I read two. By the time I got to the third one, I was like, there's better books than this that I can read
I
that are
don't
in this category.
I'll be honest with you, I don't think
Like,
I actually even finished the first one. But I did watch all of the movies. So,
so I did. I only seen the first movie. I think. I don't think I saw the other two. So I just got to
it's
the point where
fair.
I was like, this isn't for me,
It's
which
fair.
is fine.
But yeah, he is obsessed with her eating and like in that book, I really just it's not for me.
It's weird in that
It's
book. Yeah.
more controlling than it is caring. Like by far.
Yes.
In
Yes.
this book, Sarah has refused to eat so much.
Yeah. He's like,
Like
you're gonna die.
she's like gonna die from starvation. And so when he's
Yeah.
like, "You have to eat," I'm like, I get it, Kingfisher. She is literally wasting away. Yes, she does, in fact, literally have to eat. Correct.
This is what Tamlin should have done in Akatar, but didn't.
Yeah, but
He
did not.
just ignored
He
it
just
and
let
was
her
like, oh, you're
die,
so skinny now.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Oh,
let her
you're.
wither away.
Oh, look at your
Yes. Yeah.
figure. Your figure's so. You don't. You know, Tamlin
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, you're looking real hot these days," and Farrah was like, "Thanks, I haven't. I'm just withering away."
Which I mean, she probably looked closer to what she looked like before she came to the food there. He was like, "Yeah, you're back
Probably.
to your normal self."
Oh,
She's like, "I
yeah,
was starving."
rough.
My starving self. Um,
Yep.
but
But
yes, yeah,
anyways, one of
he's very
the
loving in this.
conditions of her, Carrion brought in a plate of food with him when he came to visit her and
Mhm.
was like, "Oh yeah, you can leave once you finish eating everything on that plate." And she was like, and then she ate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, "Fine." So
I'm just
stupid.
my thing is like Saris, like a hunger strike is gonna help literally no one. Like just
Yeah,
eat.
I don't think she's like even realizing she's I think some of the refusing to eat is because she's being forced to eat with him, and so she's just like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
it does
still,
help
like
no one.
it's not helping anyone.
Oh, you still have to be there. You might as well enjoy it.
Yeah.
Eat the food.
Eat the
It's
food,
like,
especially because it apparently smells and tastes amazing.
yeah, it looks great. It's fae food. It always tastes good. Like,
Yeah.
eat it.
Yeah. This is
Yeah,
that's giving Belle with refusing to eat with the beast, but she's been there less than a night.
correct. Yes.
She
No.
is choosing to miss one meal.
Yes. She only one. Yeah. Not
So,
like repeatedly.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
So,
Yes.
yes.
No, I view it as a sweet thing where he's just like, sometimes I think he's like, I think you just forget to eat sometimes. Like, eat.
Yeah. Eat food.
Like,
Just eat the food.
eat the
I think it's
things.
a
And
sweet
she's
thing
like,
too. I think he's like
yeah.
worried for her safe being, like her well-being. Very clearly worried for her well-being. And he's just like,
Yeah.
"Hey, food, can I tempt you with this food? What about this food? How about now? What about this food?" Like
Yeah, he's like, try this one. You don't like this one? I have this one.
he is BR guesting her and she is refusing it.
The great stuff. It tastes lovely. Like, yes.
Don't believe me? Ask the dishes. I'm sorry. I know every single word of that song by heart. I could sing it for you now.
I would need like a little bit of a refresh, but I do know a
It's
good chunk of it. Um,
all up in there.
so uh yeah, I like the way that I think they have a similar thing of like the Damon thing. In the beginning, you're like,
Mhm.
how is this gonna work? Right? Like this makes no sense. And then as it goes on, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
no, I like them. I like them
Yeah.
together. I like how they function and what they do for each other. And it gets
Very much
even more than
so.
that after this. But yeah,
Yeah, very much so.
this is like the beginning of
I'm
that.
getting it now. Like I'm seeing it now. I get it.
The enemies have
So,
become lovers. Finally,
yes.
we're there.
Correct.
Kind of. Kind of.
Correct. Well, kind of. Almost. Well, like very
Halfway.
almost. Super
Yeah,
almost.
yeah. Super almost. Although he like clearly marked her or did something, so I think he's decided
Oh
they're
yeah, he's
there. Whether
decided they're there.
Cyrus has decided or not, I don't know if she has a choice. But
Okay, so what else? Oh, the forge. You had promised me a forge sequence. We get a forge sequence. She's
yes, yeah,
tried
she
all sorts of stuff.
not working. I didn't go into detail about it because she's just like, I tried it with hair. I tried it with this thing. I tried it with that silver. They do seem to have this obsession with they think it has to, which kind of makes sense, that it has to have some sort of tie to the
Yeah.
person. But they're really obsessed with hair. And I'm like, where do you keep getting all this hair?
Yeah.
I guess
Like
it's
I don't
hers.
know.
But she's like, bloop.
Hair.
I'm like,
I
hair's not
think
working. Stop trying hair.
the I feel like the boat is more likely to work than the hair,
Hmm.
which they had tried in the beginning in the forge at the Winter Palace. But yeah, Quicksilver is like, no, not even close. Absolutely not. I hate you.
Yeah.
Is this a joke? Like the Quicksilver is like, dude, not even trying.
Oh, what I do think it might be, and well, I don't know. I can't remember if this is me remembering what the actual thing is or me theorizing. Either way, I'm gonna have a theory. It's they're vampires. It's blood. Like, I don't think she's got there yet, but
Yeah.
like, I feel like it has to be blood, right?
I don't think she knows what a vampire is, to be fair.
That's true. That's fair.
But yeah.
Especially also, magic requires a sacrifice.
Mhm.
It's kind of a magical thing. Feel like maybe it's blood.
Yeah.
This feels like a blood book.
There
So,
there is a lot of undertones of blood in this book. Blood is very
hmm
important in this book.
yeah.
So, I agree.
in its
I think
various
it's
colors.
blood too.
Yeah.
It's gonna be one of those things where she's like messing around with something, and I'm
Yeah.
so tired still. It's gonna be one of those things where she's like messing around with something, and then she cuts herself, and it falls in, and she's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Blood. Yeah. Which is a fun. I like that.
me too.
That's a trope that I enjoy. I think it's interesting.
Yeah,
But I just
I
feel like
agree.
the answer has to be blood. If it's not, that's fine. But I feel like blood's a logical answer.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Shall we talk about dinner?
Just the most awkward family dinner ever.
Yep, yep.
With yeah, mom and dad and the mom and dad are fighting and the two kids just
Mm-hmm.
being like swords,
Yeah.
like swords. I liked the dinner sequence. I think it really showed their personalities well and how they
Mm-hmm.
interact with each other really well.
Yeah.
Um, it was funny. I love the like, dude, I'm right here.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah, and like I know that she wonders for a brief moment when they're in the war room if Carrion can like smell as well, and she's like, "No, he's a human." Like what? Carrion's very aware of what's going on at the table. He might not be
yeah,
able to
he doesn't
like
care.
physically sense it. He can sense it
Yeah,
though. Oh yeah,
yeah.
he's like, "Whatever."
He he's like, that's cool. Get it.
Yeah,
Fair.
he's like, "So
Yeah,
swords."
yeah. He's like, yeah, like
He's
you're
like,
doing your
"Been there,
thing.
done that."
Like, honestly, yeah. He's like, been there, done that. Might do it later. Thought
Yeah,
about it in a dream once, like that sequence again
yeah,
in his
that's
mind.
him. Yeah,
Um, yes, but no, he does seem. I think the side that we see of Carrion in this, where he's like genuinely interested in learning how to fight and hanging out with the
mm-hmm.
guards, like we get this very much like Casanova, thing
Yeah,
from him, but like really not trying to sleep with anyone. Which I don't know if there's anyone for him to sleep within the castles
other
outside of
than
maybe the
the
sprites.
water sprites.
Water sprites, which apparently he already did, so maybe he doesn't have anything else to do. But like
Yeah.
clearly there's like men and women in his, like I don't feel like gender really matters in terms of like I'm assuming there's women in the guard
Yes.
as well because that doesn't
I
seem to
think so
matter in
because
this.
there's women warriors as well. So,
Yeah, that's what makes me think. So I'm assuming there has to be some in this guard, and he's just like, yeah, I want to learn to fight and stuff. Like
yeah.
it's very like not. It makes me wonder from like a we're seeing almost everything through Saris's eyes. So we're only seeing Carrion through her perspective.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if you get like a different one, how that would, which there is a Kingfisher POV to
I
this.
know.
I have not read it, but
Yeah.
it has popped up for me.
We
So
can read that as part of the podcast.
we
Is
should.
it the
I
whole
haven't read
book?
it yet. So I think it might be the whole
Oh,
book.
maybe not then.
We can do it. We can do an
A
episode.
special
We can do a
episode.
special
Yeah.
episode. Oh, that could
Yeah.
be one of our live episodes,
That can
actually.
be one of our live episodes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Surprise. We're going to start doing live streams cuz why not?
at some point. Yeah, why not?
Okay. What else do we need to deep dive into?
I mean, we talked about the vampire. Some of the deep dive we kind of did in different sections. That's what I'm trying to
Yeah.
think. We did the vampires. We did the zombie. We did the forge. Oh, she broke the sword.
Oh yeah.
That's important. She broke the sword.
She broke this is like almost immediately after they have a moment when they're making
Yeah.
out where like she can feel this like warm glow right behind her sternum. He apparently
Hmm.
bites her. He apparently marks her,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
like without meaning to or realizing what's happening, she sees him about to get killed and she is like, "Nope." Shatters the
Absolutely not.
sword.
Yeah, and she it doesn't carry in. He's at one point. He's even like, "You can shatter the sword." She goes, "I didn't know I
Yeah,
could
I've
do that.
never done that before.
I've never done that before." And he's like, "Oh." He's just so chill about everything. Like
He
even that,
is.
he's just like eating his quiche. He's
The
just like,
quiche killed me. Well, she like gets into the worm and she's like, he's eating a fat slice of cake. And so like
yeah,
cause like it's from Zeus's point of view, so I'm like a cake. And then he was like, he's eating and he's like, it's not a cake, it's a quiche. And I was like, quiches exist in this
yeah.
world.
And she's like, "What a quiche?" She goes, "I don't know, but it's good. You want some?" And she's like, "No."
Yeah. But then
Which
she
I also
does
don't think she ate anything, so she probably should. Like
well
as
she
obsessed with
starts
eating as
nibbling on the
Kingfisher.
quiche with what
Yeah.
while
Oh yeah,
watching the
because she
drama
like
unfold. Yeah.
mentions the butteriness. Yeah. Because I don't
Yeah.
think they had time to eat when they were supposed to be eating dinner, so
You don't
they
say.
got distracted. So I don't know if they had eaten beforehand or not.
I
We
think
don't
she
really
ate
get that.
about half her bowl before
Oh,
it
okay.
happened. Yeah.
Got you.
But
Got it. Okay, well, she
but
had
yeah,
something.
shatters the sword. Luckily
Yeah.
doesn't injure anyone. Carrion like dives off the sofa to shield himself, which is
Yeah,
really
they're all
funny.
like, "What?" He's like,
Yeah.
"No." In my mind, he's like, "Not the case." He's
Yeah.
like,
Oh, for
like,
sure.
for the case.
For sure.
He's like, "No."
I'm
He
interested
feels
in
very
that
Joey
because
coded.
he does feel very Joey coded. That's hilarious. How
Right?
you doing?
Yeah. Like he would say that.
He
He's
would.
like, if yeah, Joey from Friends existed in a murderous Fey world.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah.
Um I do think it's interesting because like every other time she uses magic, you get like a description of the feeling of it. And with this
Yeah.
one, there's no it
Yeah.
just happens.
It's just an explosion. Yeah. She didn't even know she was doing it. It wasn't intentional.
Yeah, which again
Yeah.
coming back to how Faye exactly is Ceres and who is her father. Um
Yeah.
I think
We're
that
still
she's
hoping they're
very
not siblings.
powerful. We're still hoping they're not siblings, dear Lord.
We're really rooting for
But
not siblings.
oh goodness. But I do think like she's probably it's I think it's gonna be one of those situations where she's like the most powerful alchemist in centuries. Obviously the only
Yeah.
alchemist in centuries, but she's gonna be extremely powerful and she's gonna like tap into
Super
that
strong.
and just become this like, you know,
Cool thing. Yeah.
she's
Oh
gonna
yeah.
match Kingfisher's power, I think, which would make sense because they're very clearly mates.
Y- yes. Yeah. We haven't really said it. Yeah, they're mates.
Very
But like
clearly.
Fey vampire-ish
Yeah.
mates. Yeah. They're
Yeah.
yeah.
Mates
Which
exist in the
is fine.
vampire world too.
They do. Yeah. That's true.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah. I
I
don't
think
think
that's all I
I had
have.
anything else. The icebreakers, hammering the river was cool. The horde, we've talked a lot about that already though.
From like a visual standpoint, I can picture the fight,
Yeah.
which I usually can't do. I'm not a big like
Yeah.
descriptor to visual person, but I
She
can
does
picture
a
it with
very good
this.
job
Yeah.
of I will say, Callie Hart, one thing I'm missing is where's that female friendship? Like, we got a little bit of that in the beginning, but we
Yeah.
haven't had
There's not a
another
lot of that in this
female
book.
for Ceres to talk to in ages, which is sad for me because I love female friendship.
I don't think that's a big tenet of this book. I don't think there really is a lot more in the rest, to
Well,
be honest.
that is slightly disappointing, but other than
It
that,
is.
this book is extremely enjoyable.
It's a fun read. Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember when I read it, I remember being like, oh, Orja should read this book. She will enjoy it. Like once I finished
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So, yeah.
So glad we're doing this.
Me
Okay.
too.
Well, I guess that's it, folks.
That's all I got.
That's all, folks. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. That was funny. It's just been a while. That's what I thought it was well. Oh, anyhow, bye y'all.
Bye.
See you next time.